Sarah here with Superintendent Mr. Albanese and Mr. Manning from the Catskill Center for Conservation and Development. How are you guys today?
Good morning.
Very well. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How did the idea of an internship program at MCS become an area of interest?
Well, I think there are a few answers to that. From my experience, it came from the students themselves. The Catskill Center has been working with a participation in government class for 3 semesters now. And during the second semester, we engaged in some planning exercises, the same exercises that members of the community did. And we went through assets and liabilities of the community, and then we established some goals and objectives. And very high on the list for the students was the need to get skills as well as job experience. So that's one answer. And another answer is the partners in the community, which we'll talk about a little bit, I hope, also wanted to see an internship. And there was actually an internship program here 5-6 years ago, and I think there was interest in bringing it back. And a third answer to that question is it originated here with the school itself, and I think Mr. Albanese can speak to that.
We, to follow up on some of the fine work that was done in the past, Mr. Manning and myself had a meeting with Ms. Carol Byrne, who's the President of the Chamber of Commerce, 2 summers ago, and we had talked about how to get an internship off the ground to support our students. And from that point, working very closely with Mr. Manning and Mr. Robson, our guidance counselor, Ms. Taylor, we were able to put a very nice program together that we'll talk about as we move forward.
Oh, it's very interesting.
We have a lot of interest from our students. We have a lot of interest from our community. So I think the groundwork has been put into place, and now our students will benefit from that.
How will this help the students at MCS?
I think primarily in many ways. We're looking to provide students the opportunity to have real life situations of interest. If you're interested in possibly going into pre-med, we're working with some of the local groups to provide that level of support, engineering, so on and so forth, and Mr. Manning will speak more specifically about. But it's really to give our students the opportunity to try things out before they leave high school. School-to-work programs are something that have been in place for a long time. And again, we want to support our students to help them have that opportunity before they move on either to college or to work.
If a student were to be inside this internship program of their choice, what are their responsibilities?
We're still a work in progress with some of our paperwork, in a sense that a student would need to fill out an application of their interest and why they're interested in the internship. We would include Mr. Robson in that conversation. Quite possibly we would have a meeting with the student and the parent or parents to talk about the potential internship. Certainly Mr. Manning would be part of that, and we would see if there was a connection that we have in place or if we need to go look for another connection. I think the other part for the students' responsibility is that they will be taking the time out of their school day for the most part, so we'll have to match up schedules, and we could talk about credit and things like that as we move forward.
Okay. Are there only certain students that will have to participate? Is it required that you have a certain average to obtain?
No, at this point we're looking at seniors, graduating seniors to get started, because for the most part a senior would be a person who's close to earning the appropriate number of credits for graduation. So we're starting at that point, starting small with a small number of students, and then we'll continue to increase as we move forward.
What does a student have to do if they're interested as far as entering the program?
Right now, what I would ask the student to do is contact Mr. Robson and speak with him, and at that point we would get back to the student as far as the next steps.
Okay. Are there any other partnerships that are with MCS and the Catskill Center?
Absolutely. There are several others. First, I'd like to just mention the partners in this program, and those are the Central Catskills Chamber of Commerce. As Mr. Albanese mentioned, Carol Byrne is the director. We have Margaretville Hospital. We have the Delaware and Ulster Railroad. The MARC project, which stands for Margaretville-Arkville. They're a revitalization corporation. The Catskill Watershed Corporation, which employs about 20 people and has a wide array of opportunity. the Village of Margaretville itself, the government, and finally the Catskill Artisans Guild, which creates a new set of opportunities in the arts world. In terms of other partnerships, the Catskill Center does conduct a number of programs in area schools. Some are focused on streams, but all of them are about what we call sense of place. And that's a curriculum that we have, and this program aims to strengthen that. And what it does with the students is gives them a stronger sense of where they live, and in this case with the businesses, the not-for-profit organizations, and some of the other partners here in the community. So we have some partnerships already, and we hope that this is going to build some new ones.
Do any of the students receive credit, and if so, how much?
Students will receive credit for the internship. It depends on the number of hours, and we have to look at what's at State Education Department talks about as seat time. So that'll be based on an individual schedule of students.
That's all the questions I have for today. Is there any further information you would like to share with us?
Yes, I'd just like to add that the internship program will start next semester, and right now we're making some of the final preparations.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day, Margaretville.